welcome to Bosco Campus Vision. In today's lecture, we are going to discuss the topic spoken and written varieties of language. A language, by which we mean a spoken language, may be defined as a system of arbitrary vocal symbols by means of which human beings communicate and cooperate with one another. In human speech, we are making use of what are called our vocal organs for the articulation of definite sounds, which, when arranged according to set patterns, form the words of a given language. We may say that a word like crow uses a certain sequence of sounds to serve as the symbol for the particular word which we have in mind. The selection of these sounds to represent the name of this particular bird is something arbitrarily fixed upon by the speech community making use of the English language. That is, in each word of the spoken language, definite sequences of sounds are made to serve as the symbols for the ideas we want to express. Written language implies the using of certain symbols for the sounds which are heard in the spoken language. In its most primitive form, writing meant the carving, drawing, or painting of the visible features of an experience or of symbolic elements representing it. In course of time, certain elements in the pictures thus drawn acquire fixed meanings, and then they came to be used as the symbols for corresponding words in the spoken language and to be arranged in the order that these words have in speech. The spoken variety of language and the written variety of language differ from each other in many ways. The spoken language is maintained in the form of a dialogue. That is, it is usually a dynamic interaction between two or more people. But the written variety is usually in the form of a monologue. While speaking, a person can make use of his hands and eyes to ensure a wider range of expressiveness. But the written mode is constrained by the absence of person addressed to, necessitating greater explicitness and clarity. The writer has to make sure that what is expressed will be understood. Many of the devices that are used in speech, such as stress, pitch, intonation, etc., cannot be expressed in conventional orthography. The writer has to depend solely on punctuation marks. Written records are fixed and stable, so the reading can be done at whatever time and speed. But in following the spoken language, a listener has to adjust himself to the speed of the speaker. A written text is usually organized and carefully formulated. When writing, a writer has time and opportunity to edit it before making it available to reading. But spoken language tends to be full of repetitions, incomplete sentences, corrections, and interruptions, with the exception of formal speeches. Again, writers receive no immediate feedback from their readers except in computer-based communication. But the speaker can monitor the effects of what he or she is saying and modify the speech in line with listeners' understanding. Spoken language uses simple sentences connected by a lot of ands and buts. But writers use more complex sentences with connecting words like however, therefore, and in addition to. A written language can communicate across time and space for as long as the particular language and writing system is still understood. On the other hand, speech is usually used for immediate interactions. When it comes to the spoken language, usually familiar words are used, and it makes use of colloquial words and contractions. Written language is more formal in tone. It does not make use of colloquial words and expressions. When a person speaks to an audience, his or her pronunciation gets noticed. But when it comes to writing, there is no such problem. Written language is more dense than spoken language because the information in the text is presented in big chunks of lexical items. But in speech, the information is diluted and conveyed through many more words. So, these are the major differences between written and the spoken varieties of language. Please do answer the question. Thank you so much for paying attention.